Sweet potatoes are widely known for their candied taste. Just as the name suggests, the plant is considered a hardy crop since it is adaptable to different agroecological zones and is grown in almost all parts of the country. In Kenya, the tubers are mainly grouped in either yellow-fleshed sweet potatoes and the white-fleshed. Sweet potatoes is now consumed by many Kenyans of all classes. More families and hotels are coming up with more creative recipes other than boiling the tubers. Today, we focus on a new type of sweet tuber known as the orange-fleshed sweet potato, rich in vitamin A and C, fiber, iron, potassium, carbohydrates, and protein. In Kirinyaga County, we meet George Aristo, a passionate agri-entrepreneur farming a new breed of sweet potatoes known as the orange-fleshed sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato champion, specific is orange-fleshed sweet potato. We are on a 6-acre piece of land, and we're in Kirinyaga County, Mbiri location.
Aristo is the director of LM Farm and he grows the orange-fleshed sweet potatoes. To him, this is more than a business.
This is a unique sweet potato. It is called an orange-fleshed sweet potato. We have so many varieties of sweet potato. The most common ones are the ones that are white-fleshed, yellow-fleshed, and now we have the ones that is orange-fleshed. I decided to get involved into farming of orange-fleshed sweet potato because of the benefit that it has. The core benefit that this particular sweet potato has is the rich in beta-carotene in it. The beta-carotene in orange-fleshed sweet potato is able to be converted to vitamin A that is good for immune system of the body, human body that is, and good eyesight.
Aristo was brought up in Nyanza. His father practices sugarcane farming, but his drive to farm the orange-fleshed sweet potatoes saw him lease a land here in Kirinyaga. He too failed in other types of farming such as tomatoes farming and maize farming, but this new breed of sweet potatoes awakened his zeal in farming again.
This particular area that I am doing the sweet potato farming is actually a leased land. This was through friends. I was able to get this parcel of land, and after doing much research, I realized that I'm able to do commercial farming on this land. I grew up in Nyanza, and farming has been a hobby for the family, and everybody has interest in different types of farming. Like my dad is so much involved in sugarcane. Myself, I found myself in sweet potato after trying tomatoes and even maize. And I realized that I best fit in farming orange-fleshed sweet potato, which I believe is going to make a difference in so many people's lives.
A new survey reveals alarming malnutrition rates in various parts of the country. Over 73,000 children are malnourished and at risk of dying. Aristo believes that this hardy crop, which is adaptable to different ecological zones in this nation, can be a solution.
A research has been done, and it has been found that there's so many children and a number of women who suffer deficiency of vitamin A. So instead of going the organic way or inorganic way, we've decided to go the organic way because this particular sweet potato is so rich in beta-carotene that the body can convert into vitamin A. In most cases, we'll be given supplements to enrich or to boost our levels of vitamin A, or even medicine to do the same. But we are able to get this vitamin, we are able to get this element from an organic product, which is sweet potato. Now, this is what we are trying to champion, that we can get good food, and out of that good food, there is benefit out of it.
Aristo is a trained marketer, but he also loves agriculture. After being introduced to this new breed of the orange-fleshed sweet potatoes and its nutrition value, he could not wish of anything but to be part of the value chain, hence the birth of LM Farm.
Personally, I've grown and I've trained to be a marketer, and agriculture has been an interest. And I was introduced to this particular farming by a friend who is doing the process part of it. And I wanted to know, in the whole value chain, where can I fit in? And I decided that I valued myself and evaluated myself and saw that it is best for me to start from the core, that is being a farmer. So as of now, I am a commercial farmer. And the reason as to why I decided to do commercial farming is because I also wanted to empower other farmers to do it so that I don't do it alone. At the same time, I'm able to supply to processors. Besides that, I'm able to feed the people that I feel this can be a basic food for them. It will be my joy to see that we are able to take sweet potato as our staple food, rather than having the so many processed foods that are not that of advantage to our human body.
Before rolling out this venture just 8 months ago, Aristol did consult different professionals in the areas that touch on health and soil management.
It involved land preparation, it involved a lot of research, it involves partnering with people who have been in this field, because you cannot do it alone. The people who actually do research and actually determine how many the value or the levels of vitamins that we need to take. The people who do research, the agronomists who know which type of crop to plant and where to plant that. So all these parameters taken into place, this is something that we have to work it out with partners.
Just like the other types of sweet potatoes found in Kenya, the yellow and the white-fleshed are adaptable to most ecological zones. The orange-fleshed sweet potatoes can also grow in almost all soil types apart from the black cotton soil.
Orange-fleshed sweet potato does well in all types of soil, except the one that holds water, that is black cotton soil. Around Kirinyaga, most of the land, the type of soil that is around Kirinyaga is loam soil, and this type of soil does not hold water, and it is also fertile, and it can sustain the growth of orange-fleshed sweet potato.
Kirinyaga has a favorable climate for growing the orange-fleshed sweet potatoes, and Aristol is well pleased about this factor, as that means his land is productive all year long.
Kirinyaga has good climate, and it can the type of climate is somehow static. The changing patterns has not affected. This area is not so much affected by the patterns or climatic change, because we are next to Mount Kenya, and we are able to do 3 seasons per year.
This 6-acre piece of land has been partitioned into 6 parts to ensure there's a process happening at any given time, from multiplication of seeds to planting and harvesting.
We actually partitioned these areas so that we have an area where I do multiplication of seed to vine. I develop the seed to vine, and then we have an area to multiply the vines that will be able to give more farmers if they require. And we also have an area that actually planting has been done. Apart from that, we also have an area that harvesting is happening now. So you find that at any particular time we have a staggering growth, so that in every season or in every month or after every 2 months we are able to do harvest. That's when we are able to sustain the demands that is there in the market.
Aristol emphasizes that every part of the orange-fleshed sweet potato can be utilized. The younger leaves of the sweet potatoes can be eaten as a leafy vegetable. The vines are an excellent complementary feed for the dairy animals. The chopped sweet potato vines combined with molasses and other crop residues can be used to make silage.
The orange-fleshed sweet potato has 3 parts. We have the upper part, that is the leaves. We actually can consume the leaves as vegetables. The vine can be replanted again to produce roots, and the third part is the roots that can be harvested for normal food consumption and also can be processed to many more products.
The process of growing the orange-fleshed sweet potatoes begins at the greenhouse, where the seeds are developed into vines.
We get our seedlings from KEFIS and from International Potato Center, and we have a greenhouse where we actually develop that seedling to a vine. It takes a period of 2 to 3 months to have an extended seed that makes the vine.
Aristotle begins by saying that he ensures to get the seeds from accredited organizations.
We develop the vines to be transplanted to the mainland for development of roots from a net tunnel. Other people call it greenhouse. This particular seed, we get it from accredited organization. Myself, I deal with KEFIS and the International Potato Center. They're able to give me clean seed, the one that has been tested, the one that is clean, that I'm able to develop. The seed that I get from this organization, I plant it in the net tunnel or the greenhouse. The greenhouse, we don't add any fertilizer when you're preparing land. At the same time, when you are doing the greenhouse on the net tunnel, we do the normal plowing. We add organic fertilizer, like for example, waste from animals or the dung, and then we cover it with a net tunnel.
Planting the seeds in the greenhouse requires important factors like spacing, which the farmer should put into consideration.
In the net tunnel, we do a spacing of only 5 centimeters apart. Since that particular seed is going to extend to make a vine. So this spacing or these partitions are very much important if you want to have good harvests for this particular crop. When you are doing the greenhouse on the net tunnel, we do the normal plowing. We add organic fertilizer, like for example, waste from animals or the dung, and then we cover it with a net tunnel.
Watering is key in the greenhouse as it helps in developing the seeds into vines.
When we have our seed in the net tunnel or in the greenhouse, we have to water for 14 days or for 2 weeks daily. That is to help in fast germination of seedling to vine.
Inside the greenhouse, Aristotle is able to pluck a vine through a small opening as it is not time yet to break open the greenhouse. This is watched strictly as animals can make their way through which will be harmful to the vines.
We're operating just from a small opening for the sake of safety, because we wouldn't want any animal to come and get in, or even pests. So not until we'll be doing the transplant, that is maybe tomorrow, is when we'll be opening up the whole part. But now, since we were just doing a demo, we're going to get one of the vines that is now 3 months old, so that we're able to see from a 5 centimeter root what is able to develop. As you can see now, this is more than 1 meter long. We are able to cut this vine into 4 parts and multiply it again to give us more numbers. Now these are clean vines, free from disease, free from pests, and are very fresh and ready for multiplication. We'll be transplanting this one to an area where we are doing the multiplication, which they'll stay there for around 2 months. Then we transplant them for root development. For farmers who want clean vines, you can see we have clean vines for you. You are always ready to contact us at any particular time, because we have what you need for root production.
This type of farming is 100% organic since no fertilizer is applied.
We only plow the normal plowing and we add manure. No fertilizer, strictly no fertilizer, because we doing organic farming. We're interested in organic food. And since our source of beta carotene is organic, we advocate that we all the time do manure or organic fertilizer, that is.
Once the vines have been taken from the greenhouse, they are then transferred to the multiplication area.
Just plowed it now, and we're intending to do this by tomorrow morning, to plant the cut vines from the net tunnel. So there is no fertilizer added, there is no manure added, and the soil is fertile enough, and we interested, if at all we will want that we will want more vines, then we can add manure on it. But as of now, we've not added anything on the soil. We've just plowed it and we've planted it. From the greenhouse, we have an area that we've allocated for multiplication of the vines. When we are doing the multiplication, the seed that we have developed from the net tunnel or from the greenhouse, we are able to cut it into 3 portions so that when it grows up, we are able to extend the length for the farmers to be able to take the same and grow for roots.
When multiplication of the vine is being done, a spacing of 10 centimeters is ensured to make room enough for the vine to grow.
Initially, we had the seed that we have developed to a vine, a very long vine. That same vine is what we are cutting into 3 or 4 pieces, leaving the root inside, still in the net tunnel or in the greenhouse. That, whatever we've left inside the net tunnel, will continue to grow. So the leafy part is what we've taken, apportioned it or cut it into pieces, is what we've planted. These will multiply. We are interested on the vegetation, on more vines. Now we will take the same, we will cut whatever we've done here, whatever we did at the greenhouse is the same thing that we'll do here. But now this particular vine has been hardened. Remember, when it was in the net tunnel, it was put under some condition, but now it has been brought to air. So here there is no regulation of water, there is no regulation of pesticide, or nothing has been added. So it will just multiply.
This particular area is plowed using cattles, and deep furrows are not made as they are not essential at this stage. The partition for growing the roots is made with the deep furrows to ensure that the root is given enough space to build up.
Where we're doing root development, we've plowed the land, we've made furrows that are deep enough, and we are doing furrows for easy development of roots. Now we will take a vine that we'll now plant in the area that we are going to have the root development, where there are furrows. So the 3 areas, one, we have the greenhouse or the net tunnel, we have an area that we are going to do the multiplication, and an area that we are doing root development. Sweet potato plants deposit food in form of root. Now, when we are doing the plowing, you have to prepare your land. That is, if it is for root development. Furrows, we make furrows 1 meter apart. Between each vine, we do a spacing of 30 centimeters each. This will give room for easy multiplication of roots, for easy development of roots, for easy management when it comes to weeding, or even when it comes to harvesting. So that spacing is important when doing this particular crop.
In this period of developing the roots, the crop must be watered regularly in the 1.5 months.
When we are developing roots, this particular crop requires enough water for at least 1.5 months, because it takes 3 to 4 months to develop. The first 1.5 months, we must have water. So whoever is involving myself or involving herself in this type of farming must ensure that there is enough water for germination of vine. Because when we have enough water and when that vine is able to germinate, it is easy to store food. That is the roots that we are so much interested in. So in a span of 3 to 4 months, the first 1.5 months, we need to have enough water. Averagely, at least it should, if you're banking on rains, at least it should have, it should be rained on twice a week. But in area where we're able to do irrigation, that one you can always program yourself on how best it suits you.
Elim Farm uses irrigation. The water used here is sourced from a water scheme that serves the community.
For us to make that viable, we decided to involve ourselves with the community around, and there is a water scheme around here that has enabled farmers or even those people living around here to have water. We decided actually to tap into that system. We pay them for, there's a way they bill, and it is easy for us. When we need water, we just irrigate. We don't need to depend on climate or on weather.
This farm has embraced mechanization and engages the use of a tractor while plowing the land. Other times they use the cattle for plowing.
Sweet potato is considered as a crop that can be done by any other person, both large-scale and small-scale farmers. For small-scale farmers, they can actually use the normal ways of tilling land, that is just by plowing or digging. But for commercial farmers, it involves mechanization. We have to use tractors actually to plow land. We're so much interested in developing very quality, big, even roots. So that involves us to bring on board tractors actually to do the plowing, so that we're able to lift the soil and also to crush the soil to make it easy for root development. For areas where we are not able to get tractors, farmers can be able to use the normal cattle to do the plowing. We use cattle actually to plow areas where we are doing vine multiplication. But areas where we are doing root development, we use tractors to do the plowing.
The orange-fleshed sweet potatoes takes 3 to 4 months to mature fully. At this time, the roots are ready for harvesting.
And when it matures, it has to be harvested. During harvesting, the best way to go about it will be to, first of all, to cut the vine, to cut the vegetation out of it. Once the vegetation is cut, we're able to remain in an area where we only have the roots. We're still using the traditional way to harvest roots here in Kenya. Maybe when time comes, we'll be able to get maybe the machines that are able to do that commercially. But as of now, we're using the normal sticks that are blunt to harvest roots. We use blunt sticks so as not to hurt the skin of sweet potato. At the same time, when doing the harvesting, it is the way we do it. We first cut the vegetation, and it takes a day or two before we actually do the harvesting. This time we give the skin enough time for it to harden up, so that by the time we are doing the harvesting, we actually don't actually injure the skin for it not to produce what we call milk here. The local language we call it milk.
Elim Farm hires casual laborers from the community that tends to the farm.
But we have one person that works here permanently, the one that we actually call to get to know how operations are here. And we have a permanent person. You find that the activities that we do that regards to this particular crop, they are not so intense. So at that particular time that we'll want to do any operation, we actually hire them for that particular purpose. Whether it is plowing, we get those people to plow. When you want to harvest, we get those who can help us in plowing. When it comes to harvesting, it's the same. So it's not like we need to have people here working on a 24-hour basis or on a 12-hour basis.
Once the sweet potatoes are harvested, they are then graded to meet the specifications of different consumers.
When we've done the harvesting, we grade our product. Since we're looking at so many end users, first of all, we have the processors, and we have the normal consumers, and we have those who use the sweet potato maybe for feeds for animals. So for processors, they will want to have an even shaped roots, not that big enough. And for the ones that we take to the normal market, they will always prefer the big roots in size. So we sort them according to size. For processors who are so much concerned with the shape, we give them the ones that are even shaped. The ones that we take it to the local markets, they actually go for big ones. though we have farmers, though we have those people also who want the small ones. So we grade them in such a way that we are able to meet our market target at any particular time.
Orange sweet potatoes have a short shelf life, and Aristotle advises that the storage area should be well ventilated. Farming of orange-fleshed sweet potatoes targets a wide range of consumers, and that increases the market scope, which is good for the farmer.
70% of orange-fleshed sweet potatoes is actually water. The 30% is what is the dry matter. So this particular crop has to be stored in an area where it is less hot or the temperatures are low. Recommended temperatures are 15 degrees and below, and the area has to be humid enough so that we don't lose the content, we don't lose the water. So the storage area has to be well aerated and with the high humidity. At the same time, the temperature has to be at least 15 degrees and below. When transporting orange fleshed sweet potato, we recommend that it's supposed to be transported in pallets, either plastic or wooden, not in sacks. We are yet to develop that, and it is a bit expensive to do that, but that is the recommended way actually to transport sweet potato.
Growing of this particular crop is profitable if all conditions are favorable at any given season. The director of Elim Farm affirms that indeed the returns are worth the effort employed.
In terms of pricing, first, since I said the whole crop is of value at all levels, if we are selling vines to farmers, I will equate it to an acre. For one to be able to plant, to have enough vines for an acre, one needs to plant 16,000 seedlings, or 16,000 vines, that is. Each vine costs between 4 shillings to 7 shillings per piece. So if we are using an average of 5 shillings, then we will multiply 5 shillings times 16,000, which is going to give us an average of 80,000 in terms of sales. Operation costs in that particular time for that particular land will be at least half of what we will have sold it at. So operation cost will be around 40,000. So we have 40,000 in terms of profit. When we selling roots, currently we're selling our roots at 70 shillings per kilo. If we do good farming operations, it is we always have at least an output of around 8 ton to 14 ton an area of 1 acre. So averagely we can use maybe 10 ton per acre. If you use 10 ton per acre and we sell it at 70 shillings, then which means that we have around 700,000. Our operation cost towards that is less, or it is half the price. So at any particular time, if we do good processes, we're supposed to have 100% profit when you plant this particular crop.
This particular farming is not without its challenges like pests and diseases. Aristotle, though, has identified ways of mitigating this challenge.
This particular type of farming has challenges. Myself, I'm doing it as a hobby. So the challenges that are there, I treat them as positive challenges because there's nothing that comes easy. And it is good that in so many things that we involve ourselves into, challenges are always there. What matters is how we treat the challenges. Like I said, mine, we treat them positively. The basic challenges that are there that involves this particular type of farming, one is water. If you want to have abundant harvest or good harvest, one has to ensure that you have enough water for this particular crop. We have pests that attack this particular crop, though there are ways to mitigate it. We also have weeds that are always there, though it is less costly to maintain because we just do the normal weeding. Storage is a major factor because this particular crop, since it has a short shelf life, there is always a way that is required that we need to store this particular crop before it reaches the end user. Transportation is also another challenge because we need to transport them in pallets. So you can imagine if you have 10 tons in terms of harvest, and we need to take them maybe like 200 kilometers away, how many pallets we will require to transport that, and even not even the pallets and even maybe the lorries that will involve. So it is costly to do that. Apart from that, we having marketing challenges because we are entering into a market that is flooded with other products or with other types of food. We have processed bread, we have mandazis, we have chapatis, we have maize, we have eggs. All these are for consumption. So when we're trying to penetrate through with sweet potato, we're coming into actually what we call in marketing a red ocean. So we're actually not selling food. We're actually selling a product that has benefit in it. We have a problem of vitamin A deficiency, and we are trying to solve that through an organic crop. If we are able to get that, then our challenges, we are able to mitigate them. Because when we have enough market, or we have ready market, which will translate in monetary value, we are able to use maybe mechanization. We are able to buy the pallets to transport this. We are able to buy the pesticides. We are able to do good or easy ways of weeding. We also have to employ best ways of storage. So it is a whole value chain, and at every level there is a challenge. But we trust that with time we are able to mitigate this and be in profits.
In order to make good profits, it is important that distribution is done within the reach of your customers. For that reason, Elim Farm have 2 storage stores, one in Limuru and the other in Kamulu, which makes it easier to distribute this produce to its customers.
We're based in Kirinyaga, where we're doing the farming bit of it. But when it comes to distribution or marketing, we do it in Nairobi. In Nairobi, we have 2 centers of sale or stores. We have one in Kamulu, that is along Kamulu Road, and we also have another one in Togoto, that is in Kikuyu. Now, the one in Togoto, that is in Kikuyu, we actually there to target processors. The one that we have in Kamulu, we use it as a storage place to sell to local people. We are able to deliver to people who want maybe a kilo or 2, but we recommend that at least for us to do delivery, we recommend that at least one asks for or buys at least 2 kilos. That we're able to do. When we're doing that, we get it from our Kamulu stores. But the one that is in Togoto, we using it to target our processors. We've done so that it becomes easy on us at any particular time that one requires this particular product, and also for easy distribution, because it cuts costs in terms of transport. We're also looking at the mass market, where the mass market is. We're capturing Eastlands by having a store in Kamulu, and we're having one also out of Nairobi, that is in Kiambu or Togoto.
The orange-fleshed sweet potatoes can be processed into many different products, including bread, biscuits, and juices. If extracted, the juice from this root is awesome for detoxification.
Beta-carotene is very good for the skin, and you can always extract the juice from the sweet potato, and you can use it for detoxification.
The aim of Elim Farm is to be able to exhaust the whole value chain. They are targeting the export market as well, and for them, they have every reason to keep going.
We aiming at having exhausted the whole value chain. We are able to take care of farmers who have dairy cattle. We are able to take care of farmers who are interested in developing roots. We are able to sell vines to them. We are also interested in local people who want to have sweet potato as their food on the table, traders who are selling sweet potato to other consumers, and even processors who are able to take this particular crop and conform it to other products. At the same time, we're looking forward that When that time comes, we're able to export this particular crop from Kenya to other parts of the world. And there are so many ways that we can actually consume this sweet potato. So when we are able to exhaust the so many ways of consumption and the so many ways at any particular level, then I can say that is where we are aiming at.
Aristol is indeed campaigning for the orange-fleshed sweet potatoes, as he believes that this crop carries the solution to high mortality rates in children due to deficiency in vitamin A.
Orange-fleshed sweet potato is a super crop. It's a crop that has value. It is a crop that is good for both of us. It's a crop that is good for all of us. One, the benefit that it has. We are so much created that we need vitamin A for our development. We need vitamin A for good eyesight. And that we can get from sweet potato. The sweet potato that we are championing, the sweet potato that we are advocating is an orange-fleshed sweet potato that has higher levels of beta-carotene. If we are able to reduce the rate of death in children because of the low immune systems that they have, we can boost the immune systems in our children by giving them the right food to boost their immunity. They'll not be able to get or to suffer from diseases that we can actually manage. And the answer is sweet potato. For those that have poor eyesight, since vitamin A is so good for good eyesight, we can actually just consume sweet potato to solve this equation or to solve this problem. So I would urge us that we have problems that have local solutions. We don't need to do supplements, we don't need to do medicine, we just need to consume food. And this particular food is orange-fleshed sweet potato. For those of us that want to do the farming, there are so many farmers who are interested in doing this particular crop. It is a venture that is worth involving yourself into it because it has returns. For those of us who are in dairy farming, we can actually plant this or involve yourself in this type of farming to be a source of food for dairy cattle. For those that are involved in pig farming, this particular crop is so good for pigs. And we can also convert the same for those of us who are also involved in making fertilizers, making the organic fertilizers. This particular crop can be mixed with molasses. We only mix vines plus roots and molasses to make silage. And we are able to give it to our livestock when there are no feeds or when there is no vegetation, because you will have stored enough, you will have enough when it is of dry season. So we don't have a reason for our cattle to die because they are low or there is no food for them to consume. In all these levels, there is trade, there is money involved in it. So if in any area that one feels like in the whole value chain that one can take, it is worth venturing into. But most basic enough, we have a food that is so beneficial to us, we have a food that is organic, we have a food that can actually transform our bodies and can transform the whole nation. We're talking of food security. This is how we can go right in terms of food security.
Elim Farm offers training to farmers who may be interested in growing this crop and want to get in contact with them.
We do trainings for farmers who want to involve in this particular type of crop. We partner with different organizations. Like I mentioned, we partner with International Potato Center and also KEFIS. But for the farmers who want to get involved into this particular farming, we do training. We're still doing it at subsidized cost, and we can always get us. On Facebook, we are Elim Farm Kenya. And our contact is 0721 745 950 or 0701 574 059. At any particular time, even if the calls are engaged, you can always send a message, we will respond to it.